Integrity is one of those interesting words we bring up a lot and we wonder, what does it actually mean? As I think about integrity inside of a firm, inside of a company, I think about integrity in terms of where mission and purpose meet values. Now, in order to accomplish this, you can't get to this without conflict. Conflict is a necessary ingredient to integrity. Now, our mission at Menlo is to end human suffering in the world as it relates to technology. You want to pick a big, lofty mission, right? You want to pick something you'll never actually get to, and we will never run out of work at Menlo. We realized we were operating inside of an industry that learned to call the people they serve stupid. Stupid users, you've heard the term. Then we write dummies books for you poor people, in case you didn't get our point earlier. And so we set our goal since 2001 is to return joy to what we believe is one of the most unique endeavors mankind has ever undertaken, the invention of software. And in order to achieve that mission and that purpose and that goal, resting upon the values that we hold near and dear to our hearts, we have to engage the team in a productive conflict. And quite frankly, my earlier talk with you was about building that base level of the pyramid that Patrick Lencioni talks about in the 5 dysfunctions of a team, where he says that the absence of trust produces a fear of conflict. And so if we can build trust into the organization, we can get to productive conflict. We can get to a team that is actually going to conflict with one another in order to achieve the outcomes that we're trying to achieve. Because any of you who have ever worked on a big project, you know that there are opposing forces in a project. There are opposing forces of time and budget, of quality, of implementation, and of design. This is certainly true at Menlo. And so what we did at Menlo was we built all of these things into the system and into the roles in which we operate, and then we set people at each other, opposing forces inside the organization. This doesn't sound like joy, right? But it is. Because ultimately we define joy at Menlo very succinctly. What we want more than anything else is to get the work of our hearts, our hands, and our minds out into the world and delight the people for whom it's intended. We want somebody later to tell us they love the software that we built. And the biggest disillusionment that occurs in my industry is the projects that never ever see the light of day. The projects that are canceled before they deliver, or if they deliver with lots of problems. And if they deliver with lots of problems, or you eventually get past those, then people just hate what it is you did, and they just grab their heads and say, what were they thinking? So we've arranged the 4 pillars of each of our teams around the necessary conflicts to complete a project successfully. We put project managers who advocate for our customers, their budget, their time frame. They are the customer's voice when the customer isn't in the room, the people who pay us to do the work. We put programmers there to advocate for the technology, because ultimately you can't upset the computer too much or it will start betraying you. We put quality advocates in charge of making sure that the whole system is working appropriately, make sure that it gets out the door. And then we put some people in charge of the part that attacks that stupid user part of our industry. We have a set of people on our team who advocate for the users. This is the lost tribe of technology. Right? You know what lost tribes are like. They're the ones that the anthropologists are hacking through the jungle, and one day they discover them. They're like, oh my gosh, we didn't even know you existed. Those are the users. And so we put a set of people on our team, we call them high-tech anthropologists. And their job, their mission, is to delight the users. Their role is to make sure that whatever we create delights the people for whom the software is intended. And this is the most underrepresented voice in our community. And this causes us to have to fight with our customers on behalf of the users. I remember one time a team of ours was going out to design the new user experience for a handheld touchscreen diesel motor diagnostic tool. The first visit our anthropologist did was to the local bus station where they work on buses, and they met Bubba. And Bubba opened up the back of the bus. They wanted to watch him work. They wanted to record his vocabulary. They wanted to honor his role. That's why we call them anthropologists. Go out in the world and study these people in their native environment. And the first thing they discovered is Bubba wears rubber gloves when he works. Our customer was astounded. They said, I've been here for 12 years. I've never even met one of our end users. This was our customer, had been in this business for 30 years. And a 12-year veteran of their team had never met their end users. And yet in the first couple of hours of our team working on this project, we discovered something that would have frustrated those users to no end. And so the point is, as you think about your own organizations, as you think about the design of these organizations, and figure out how you're going to get to the integrity that rests on your purpose and your mission and your values, realize that you have to have different voices advocating for different things, and those voices will ultimately be in conflict. And if you want to get to the heart of productive conflict to produce great results for the world, you have to have an underlayment of trust inside of your whole team. Thank you very much.